well. We're going to change gears now from herbs in the garden to talking about learning how to become a garden professional. And we're so fortunate here in Central Texas that Austin Community College offers a wide array of kind of professional certifications for people interested in landscape design or irrigation specialists. And I'm joined right now by Sharon St, who is one of the directors of this program, and it's great to have you on Central Texas Gardener.
Well, thank you, Tom, and I appreciate you letting me be here so I can tell your viewers about our wonderful program.
Well, it is wide-ranging. That's one of the first things I think people should know, that no matter how you want to come into the landscape business, there seems to be a pathway here.
Yes, there is, and we have certificate courses. If someone wants to be a landscape designer or a professional landscape installer or a nursery, work at a nursery or greenhouse operations, and also for interior plants.
Okay, so a wide range of options there available for people.
Yes.
And one of the things that I really think is very cool about this is that this is really hands-on instruction. In fact, you're going to be doing some hands-on projects in some of your campuses.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Yes, we are, and we're real excited about that. This year we will be installing a horticulture outdoor classroom at our Riverside campus that will be designed and installed by students.
That's great.
Yes, we're very excited. It's going to be very sustainable with rainwater collection, composting, vegetable garden, just everything
very good
the students can come up with.
One of the benefits I think that the community colleges have is that they're able to access talent in the community to serve as instructors.
Yes.
You know, there's a very flexible arrangement there. So tell me about the kinds of expertise that you've been able to amass around this, the instructors.
Well, that's one of our pride is our great instructors. All of them have worked in the horticulture field professionally, and they all garden. Everything's very high.
It's good to have gardeners.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You're right. And they all are very high energy. The classes are very fast paced. Our instructors really take a personal interest in the students.
Well, one of the things that's so important, especially on the design side of this, is learning how to manipulate the designs and present information in beautiful graphic ways.
Yes.
And you've brought along some samples of some of the garden designs that I think are really exceptional. I think they're beautiful designs, but also the presentation is phenomenal.
Well, thank you. Thank you. The design has really been a main focus. The homeowner likes to see what they're getting.
Exactly.
And many neighborhoods require a submitted plan for approval before the garden can be installed. It's a great way to get everything in the right place the first time.
Exactly.
Helps with scheduling installation. It's just all of that.
You know, and I know a lot of people who are involved in gardening and who are garden professionals this skill is really the essential skill in so many ways of learning how to lay out a beautiful design on paper, because it not only is it a critical piece of the design, it's a critical piece of the sale.
Yes.
That if you can't communicate it that way, then chances are you're not going to get the job.
You're so right. And this, our Introduction to Graphics class, helps students learn how to draw to scale, all of the different graphic symbols, how to organize a page setup, and do a complete set of plans.
Yeah, and you've in some of the samples that you've brought, you've shown some real different kinds of garden experiences that people can learn how to create. There's one, for example, where there's a lot of diagonals in the garden.
Yes, yes, and it gives a really unique design and actually adds to the feeling of space. If someone has a very long backyard, it kind of breaks up that long look and is very attractive.
Yeah, and then also, you know, some people go for the angular and the dramatic kind of landscape, but other people like something that's softer and has more flowing or circular kinds of spaces.
The nice, beautiful, graceful curves.
And that again, you brought a great illustration of one of those kinds of spaces as well. And the important thing about design, and I use this phrase a lot when I talk about it, is demystifying it for the homeowners.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
Because letting them see it in the way that you have provided for your students really is a critical way to do it.
That's so true.
Yeah. Now, the important part of any design today, it has to do with computer-generated graphics. So I assume there's a fair amount of time spent on that.
Yes. Joe Sabato is our instructor for that course, and he is an instructor that has actually taken all the horticulture classes at ACC, and when he finished that, he really searched for a good computer program that would do what he needed it to do and was easy to learn. And so he teaches this course, and not only does he know the computer part, he's great with design.
Well, and it also creating scenarios. There's an artist side of this as well.
Yes, there is.
And this is especially evident in some of these kind of outdoor room scenarios that you've brought along as well. There's some outdoor entertaining spaces that look like they could be indoor spaces.
Yes, it's bringing the indoors out with our great Central Texas weather, and there's really unique ways to do that. So you have that sitting in the garden feel, and the one with the trellis makes a nice backdrop. It visually contains your eye in on the main features, which is the artwork and the furnishings.
Right. And there's that whole sense of an outdoor room, which, I mean, it's almost a cliche when you talk about design, but I think you can't emphasize it enough, is that person-scaled spaces feel like rooms.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
And so, you know, think about that in an outdoor sense as well, not just about your home. Now, there's one drawing I really love for a couple of reasons. It's an outdoor space with a spa. Now, the spa is a little different than most.
Yes, it is.
It's at grade.
This one is sunken into the ground rather than the typical raised, and there's also a sunken fire pit, and so it makes a great gathering place and a good conversation area.
Well, and I love that notion of, you know, utilization of the garden at night.
Yes.
And so having, and most people don't use their spas in the summer here, they use them in the winter. So the combination of a fire pit and a spa, I think, is really lovely.
It makes for a cozy, enjoyable space.
Right. Well, and you know, that whole sense too of using the design to kind of emphasize some of the kind of the maybe the architecture of the home. You have some renderings that show patterns in bricks and things like that. And that is something that again I often talk about when I talk about design is look at your home and think about taking some piece of it that you really love and bringing it into the garden.
Absolutely.
And brickwork, patterns, things like that. And you show people how to do that as well.
Yes. We have lots of fun designing with patterns, and it creates a lot of interest with texture combination and can enhance the theme of the garden.
Yeah. So, you know, there's so many different ways to think about it and different challenges that the homeowners are trying to get over. And, you know, what you're doing here, I guess, is equipping the designers with the tools necessary to meet all these varied demands.
Yes, and to see the unlimited possibilities there are in design, which is always makes them fun and different.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, you also brought a few pictures of completed projects.
Yes.
And one that I really love, I guess this is a Central Austin yard, and it looks like a real shady space. And let me tell you, that is one of the biggest challenges we hear about all the time. It
is a challenge.
You know, I live under trees and I have no sun, so how do I create something interesting?
With that, that was heavy shade. And so we made a cozy little Asian feel, very lush plants that do well in the shade. No grass, actually very low water requirements, and very interesting with lots of texture.
Well, and I think, you know, and there's other elements of that. There's kind of beautiful pathways and
that leads you through the garden.
Right, directs your eye, leads your feet, all those kinds of things, and also places to gather. And I noticed that in that garden, it looks like a structure that is obviously very evidently for people to sit and have conversation together.
There is. There's a cozy deck with a beautiful Asian-style arbor.
Okay, well, how do people get in touch with y'all? I know we're going to have information on klru.org/CTG website. How do people get in touch with you?
Okay, I'm Sharon St.
Okay.
And my office number is 223 7813.
Okay, you may be sorry you gave that out. You're going to get a lot of phone calls, I think.
We'll be delighted to hear from everybody, and I think everybody would enjoy it and know that they get a warm welcome at Austin Community College.
All right, and and real briefly here, they can come in and sample classes, or do they have to sign up for a full curriculum?
They can take courses, and that's the great thing, at any time at their convenience. Our courses, most of them are at nighttime of different nights of the week.
Right.
And so they can take the courses in any arrangement they want.
Okay, well, Sharon, it's been a real pleasure visiting with you. This is a great resource for area professionals and people who are just advanced amateurs. So thank you so much for being on Central Texas Gardener.
Well, thank you for having me as your guest.
All right, coming up next is Stephanie.